Hey, Richie Bulletin Broadhead. I put a video out a while back about compounds supposed to be being overrated. Still stand by that video. Created a lot of good talk, some controversy. But I always say, shoot the fastest bow you can. And I still stand by that. But I want to talk about the truth of speed and how it's actually done. Is it the dirty little secret? No, but you guys should understand what this all means. Now, one part in that video I said miles per hour actually meant feet per second. FPS is something you should know. Feet per second. And IBO speed. What does that mean? Well, IBO means International Bow Hunting Organization, and they set how these tests are done, how we get our ratings. Okay, so how do we get these IBO speeds? Well, there's a few things they do. First, they shoot all their bows at 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, with a 350 grain arrow, and through a machine. Okay, Duncan, guys, can't do without it. So, and one other thing, that's as the arrow actually leaves the bow. It's not 20, 30 yards down range because the arrow will be going much slower at that point. So that's how they get these ratings, by shooting 70 pounds, 30-inch draw, 350 grain arrow with a machine. No human is drawing these bows and shooting them because they take the human element out of these tests. Okay, so now what does that all mean for us? So let's try to figure out what we will be shooting in the real world. What does this all mean? So if 30-inch draw. So every inch down, 1 inch, 2 inch. For every inch draw length, 29, 28. So if you're shooting at 29, you can expect to lose about 10 FPS. Okay? That's 70 pounds. If you're shooting 60 pounds, you can expect to lose anywhere between 15 and 20 FPS. Now, that 350 grain arrow, if you want to shoot a heavy arrow, like a 425 grain, for every 5 grains of arrow, that's about 1.5 FPS. So that 425 grain arrow, now you're losing about 20 FPS, feet per second we're talking about. Okay, we put on our delope accessories, that's another 5 FPS, and a human element. So what does that mean for the beginning archer? This is what my videos are mostly for. So let's get a bow rated at 320 FPS, IBO speed. 320, this bow says it will shoot. So now if I'm shooting at 60 pounds, and let's say I shoot at a 28-inch draw, I want to shoot a heavy 425 grain arrow, and my accessories are the human element, of course. Now at 320 IBO rated speed, you're actually shooting in real world 250, 255. Okay, so that's how this all works. If you go on Google, whatever web search, and you pop in IBO calculator, you can actually figure out what you will be shooting, a ballpark figure. That's a great way to guide you guys, okay? Because I want you guys to know what to expect in the real world, what real speeds are. Now, most bow companies are Matthews, they really don't shoot nowhere near the IBO speeds, I find. Some companies are better than others. I think Hoyt has some really good IBO speeds, and they shoot pretty close to what they say they can do under ideal conditions. So that's how you figure out your IBO speed. This is what it's all about, right? If people find in the archery world, the speed, that's all you see on these magazines is 320, 340, 350. I actually read an article about the 400 FPS IBO rated speeds. Will that be achieved in the next 2 years? Who knows, maybe. But I wonder what type of draw it's going to have. So, again, I always recommend shoot what you can do comfortably with a great shot placement. Don't sacrifice all this for speed for a bad shot. It's not worth it. So, and now let's say we buy our bow. It's 320 rated. We do have a set at 70 pounds, a 30-inch draw, 350 grain arrow. Am I going to be shooting that? No. You're probably going to be shooting about 290, 295 when you add in all the little accessories and the human element and blah, blah, blah. So, that's what this whole thing is. FPS, you should know that, feet per second, and IBO speed, International Bow Hunting Organization, how they set these speed standards. Now, one other thing I want to talk about real fast when it comes to the hunting world is kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is important for hunters. So, how many pounds of kinetic energy do I need to harvest an animal in North America, let's say, white-tailed deer, black bear, elk? Well, you really need anywhere between 42 and 65 pounds of kinetic energy to harvest an animal in North America, let's say. So, remember that bow I talked about, that 320 IBO rated bow? We have it set at 60 pounds, 28-inch draw, 425 grain arrow. We were shooting about 250, 255 FPS. How many pounds of kinetic energy do I get out of that bow? Around 58, 59 pounds of kinetic energy, which is more than enough to take an animal in North America. So I get past those all the time. 60 pounds is more than enough. If you can shoot 70 pounds, more power to you. Great for you. But I say if you're beginning archery, average male, 50 to 60 pounds is good. Some females too can shoot a 50, 55 pound bow, no problems. I'm not trying to say women can't pull this weight. I'm just saying for beginners. So that's what this whole IBO speed FPS is all about. So when you go to your archery shop or wherever to buy your first bow, you have a better understanding what this all means and what you can expect in the real world with your bow that you are buying. So Richie, bullets and broadheads, it's not that complicated. But if you see a bow shooting, says IBO 340, 350, you're not going to be shooting 340, 350. You're going to be much slower than that. So that's how you can figure out in your head or with the calculator I talked about what you actually will be shooting in the real world, and is it enough? More than enough of kinetic energy for harvesting any type of big game animal in North America. So that's Richie, bullets and broadheads. Hope you understand now what FPS is, feet per second. IBO speed, International Bow Hunting Organization, and how they come to determine all these IBO speeds, what they actually mean in the real world. So Richie, bullets and broadheads. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's an important subject. Is it still overrated? I say yes, but shoot the fastest bow you can. But now you know what you can expect with the bow you buy and what speed you can expect. Richie, take care, guys.